This might be a lifesaver. If you are a content creator or a photographer or videographer, or someone who just casually doing any kind of video or photography work, this might be something for you, because the one thing that we share is the importance of our file and backing up said file. Let's get straight into the unboxing. All right, guys, so we are here with two products here, Clouzen Tainer, and this is a portable storage device. It's almost like a miniaturized computer crunched into this small device, and we have a SSD right here, which is a 2 terabyte. The reason for the SSD I'm going to explain now is Tainer comes into two different varieties. You have one that has SSD comes into the device installed already, and you have one like mine that does not have the SSD installed. The reason why I chose to purchase the version without the SSD is that I find it to be a lot cheaper if I purchase my own SSD. And the other thing, what I like about the Tainer too, is that you are able to go from a low amount of storage to as high as 32 terabyte. Most portable storage like this or similar to this one does not allow you, install your own storage device. And the one thing I have to say is that you have the capability, if for whatever reason your hard drive failed, you can switch out your SSD and install a new one, which I think is a fantastic thing to have. But let's get straight into the unboxing without me rambling on for too long. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to unbox the Tainer, and then we'll come to the SSD. Let's put this to the side for now. I'm just going to unbox like so. Open it up and we pull it out. So once we pull it out here, guys, this is just the instruction manual for you. It shows you how to operate the device, how to open it, install the SSD if you choose to. All right, so I'm going to put this to the side. And now the one caution, which is I think is very, very important, guys, is this compatibility is a SATA SSD M.2 2280 only. This is one that it actually supports. All right, guys, just keep that in mind when you're going to be if you're going to be purchasing this device, and you're also going to be purchasing your own SSD. Okay. All right, let's put that to the side. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to come here, and we have our USB cable, and we have USB-C, and we have USB-A. Okay, 3.0. Let's put that to the side, and now we have the actual device itself. So the device, as you can see here, has a small screen, and also these are the ports right here, which this is where you can have your actual SSD, external hard drive rather, card reader attached, and you can actually back up or transfer files from this device to, and vice versa. And here you have the two card slots. You have your XQD, which is a CF Express card, and you have your SSD, which I think is fantastic. All right. And the next side now is you have your dial here. This is what you're going to be using to actually maneuver through your menu and also selecting whatever item you have highlighted. You select by pressing the wheel down, okay? And also, if you need to charge, you're going to charge it right here at the USB. If you move around to the other side now, we have our Ethernet connection, so you have two options here. You have Wi-Fi, and you also have a hard connection with the Ethernet, which supports 10, 100, and 1000 in terms of the speed, all right? And you have your cloud connection with this dongle. This is a dongle that you can actually take out, and you can use to connect via Wi-Fi, and I think it's a fantastic thing, because the other option that we have too is that you're able to back up your files onto our cloud storage that they actually do provide, which I think is fantastic. All right, guys, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to pour it on so you guys can just see what it looks like. So the dial right here, I'm just going to press it once. And once I press it, it's going to load up like this. And the one thing I'm going to do for you guys, which is a bonus, guys, is that I'm going to install the new firmware into this device. Right now, we're on version 1.11, okay? And you can see now, this is how it looks in terms of, so right now it's saying that there's actually no SSD, no internal SSD. That is why it's actually grayed out. And if we come over here, you can see that the Wi-Fi, I can go inside here now, find my Wi-Fi, put in my password, and I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. And I can also back up via the cloud, like I mentioned before. And let's go further, and we have the Clouzen Clouder, which is their actual cloud service app. What you can actually use, you can actually download it if you have an Android phone or an iPhone, okay? And then we'll just move on. This is just to turn the sound on or off. And in here, the settings, if you go here, you can see, you can change the power off. So this is set to 90 seconds right now. You can actually rename folders. So that's an option that you have too. You can change the language, and this is where you come and you do your firmware update. I'm actually going to show you guys that as well as a bonus. Okay, guys? And then now you can actually do what is called a factory data reset. All right, so what we're going to do, if you hard press, it takes you back to the main menu, like so. But if you hard press and hold it, then it's going to turn the actual device off. So this is what I want to do now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the dongle. Once I remove the dongle now, then I'm going to come here and I'm going to remove the rubber housing from it. So this now allows me to, as you can see, there's a screw here and there's also a screw here. Okay, so I need to remove these two screws so I can actually get inside to put in this SSD that I bought right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to grab my screwdriver. I'm just going to unscrew it. And if any of you guys are very, intimidated by this, I'm doing this so that if someone needs to remove the hard drive for themselves and do the installation, I'm actually doing this step by step so you guys can actually see how it's actually done. Okay, so once you have removed the two screws from either ends, all you do now, you're going to hold the case and you pull. And you pull like that and you will see that the screen is here. All you do is going to just turn it over onto the other side like so. That way you're going to have now this right here. You just pull it like so. And if you look now, you're going to see that this is the battery unit right here. And it's anchored by this metal piece right here. And all you do is just hold both sides and you just lift. Once you lift, you just turn the battery on its side like so. And now you have access to where the SSD is going to be placed. So let's put this to the side for now, and I'm just going to get inside the box with the SSD like so. Good. So we have our SSD right here, and this SSD is the LD Loca, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly. I'm probably butchering it right now, but anyway, so let's move straight ahead. And we're going to grab our SSD. So the first thing that we need to do now, and I like the fact that this comes with an actual screwdriver, all right, and this actually has a screw as well, but we already have a screw here inside the unit. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to slide this back over so that you guys can actually see what is happening. And then all I'm going to do now is I'm going to unscrew this screw here. If you know anything about computers, guys, if you need to ground yourself so that there's no static electricity, just hold on to a piece of metal, any kind of metal, and you should be fine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to remove the SSD from the casing right here. Let's put it to the side. As you can see here, like I mentioned before, it's a 2 terabyte SSD. All right, and all you do now, I'm just going to turn it so you guys can actually see, is you're going to see that these prongs right here, just make sure that this prong lines up with this prong opening right here inside the bay, and you just slide it in. So once you slide it in, put the screwdriver down. Once you slide it in, just take your time. You don't need to rush it, guys. And remember, whenever you put in anything, especially when it comes down to computer related, electronic related, do not force it. As you can see now, I've put it in. And the reason why I know it's put in properly, you can see that it's like that, okay? And that's how it's supposed to be. And now, all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to grab my screw, like so. I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure on here, not too much. Like I mentioned, guys, try not to go too fast. This screwdriver is a little bit small for me, so I'm going to switch out to my other screwdriver. It's a little bit bigger. All right, so I'm just going to put this down. And once that is in place now, I'm just going to screw. And guys, please remember, do not over tighten. Just tighten to the point where you feel some tension, and that's pretty much it. So now that is in there now. All you're going to do now, just line up. So if you look here now, you're going to see one hole here, and there's another hole right here. And this metal piece that is hanging down right here, you're going to see that this is going to be going down inside the hole. And that's all you do, you just line it up like so. Okay, so once you put it in now, guys, it's in place. You're going to see like that. It's in there, all right? It's nice and flat. So now, all I'm going to do now is just going to line it up like before. Make sure this metal piece is not protruding. So you just put your finger there and you push it down. And all you do is just kind of back it off a little bit and then you push again. And you can see that the metal piece is underneath there now. And all you do now, you just line it's nicely lined up and you just slide it in. And just check it to just make sure that the edges, there are no openings on either side and also the front area. And you can see that it's nicely sealed. So once that's done, you just put back the screws. Good. So once all the screws are in now, all I'm going to do is just put on back the rubber housing. Like that rubber housing is put in nicely. And all we're going to do now, I'm going to put back the dongle inside. So all we're going to do now is we're going to power it on. Guys, if you're getting any value at all from this video, smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more. I'll get back straight into the video. All right, so now that we have the SSD installed, all we're going to do now is we're going to power it back on and leave it and see. Okay, so now it's saying unknown internal SSD format, and it's asking you whether you want to format or not. And all you do, you just say okay and say okay. And now it's saying to you that all data will be deleted and formatted on this drive. You just scroll over to where it says yes, and you just select that. And it says, it's warning you again. So it's giving you several layers of warnings to make sure that you really want to format it. And all you do, all data will be, and you just say, press it again one more time. And now it's going to be formatted. And just leave it there to format. So drive format complete. Now everything is okay. So I'm just going to press it one more time. Press the wheel at the side one time, and now it's showing you the information on the SSD, how much storage you have, what is actually being used so far by the actual system itself. And now I can go ahead and do certain things that I want to do. So the thing I want to do now, guys, is I want to update the firmware on the device itself. So what I'm going to do now, I just want to show you guys. It says clouzen.net. This is the home screen. And all you're going to do here, guys, you're going to come to the download section. And once you click on that, you can download the manual, but we already have the manual. But if you want to use a computer, you can go ahead and do that. And then if you want to also go to the mobile app, you can do this and just send it to the mobile app. You can just search inside the relative mobile app. But right now we're doing the firmware. So we're going to go back. And this is the latest firmware right now. And you just click on it. It's going to download to your designated folder that you have saved on your computer. So I already downloaded this so that you guys can see. So I'm just going to come here. So this is the actual folder that it comes in, and these are all the files that it has here. The only file that we're interested right now is this file right here. And all you're going to do now is going to get your SSD, and you're going to select it and drag it to the root directory of your SSD. I already have it here already. And all I'm going to do now is just going to eject it. All right. So now let's head back to the actual device itself. It's turned off by itself, which is fine. Let me turn it back on. So like I mentioned before, guys, my version right now is 1.11. And I'm going to upgrade it to the newest version, which is 2.01. Okay, so now all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to scroll to where it says settings, click on it. And then we're going to come here and we're going to select this firmware. But before I do that, I'm just going to remove, I can remove the rubber right now, the rubber housing from here. I can just take it off. And then I'm just going to put in the SSD. So once I put it in, it's going to come here now. And I select that. And so now it says firmware update, and it's telling me now it found the file, right? And because it found the file, it's showing you where it's going to be where the old firmware is and where the new one is, okay? And all you do, like I mentioned before, you just press the dial once, press it, and you just leave it there to update. So it says here, update completed, and what it does, it just turns off. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove the SSD. So let's move it to the side. And now all we're going to do is just power back on. And as you can see here now, we're on 2.01. So we have successfully updated our software, okay? So it says firmware updated successfully, which is exactly what we want. I'm just going to select OK. And now we are here now. So now what I wanted to show you guys quickly is you can easily back up your file as just sticking in your SSD, and it's going to show you what to do. So hold on 1 second, guys. So here we have our SSD. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to put it in, and it's going to be reading it. So now it's asking me, as you can look here now, it's asking me several options. It's asking me if I want to back up straight to the SSD, which is what I'll definitely love to do if I'm on the road, or you can actually back up to the cloud. That is once you connect to the app, and then you can also back up to an external hard drive. So this is if I have an external hard drive connected to the actual device itself, okay? And then you come over here, you see the other options. All right. So what we want to do now, we want to back up to the internal hard drive that we just installed a while ago. And let's see how long it actually takes. I have about 219 files, and they're raw files, and each file is about 33 megapixels. Okay. So I'm going to select that. And now what it's asking me now is it's showing you the size of the file, and it shows you the amount of files right here. And it says here you can copy verify, which is going to be a longer process, or you can just copy straight. And I'm just going to copy straight, and let's see how long it takes. And the good thing about this too, guys, is that you can actually couple multiple drives at the same time, which I think is fantastic. And if you're not in a rush, you can do the copy and verify. And you can see that it's going through each file to just make sure there are no errors, so that when you get home, that all files are actually there. And it's almost done. The great thing about this too, guys, is if you're a photographer or videographer, and let's say you at half of the day has gone, and so now it's verifying. So I actually did the longer version. So what it's doing now, like I mentioned, is verifying the files just to make sure that all files are actually there. But the one thing I like about this too, guys, is that if you actually, let's say for half of the day that you're working, you backed up a part of the files, you can actually stick the SSD in there one more time, and it actually continues from where it actually left out, which I think is a fantastic feature. All right, so it says here successful. You can say remove all memory cards just because it's successful. So we can remove the memory card, and then it's showing you what files are actually there now. So if I go to the SSD, and it's a preview, so I can actually preview photo or video. So if I was a videographer and I had videos on here, I can actually preview it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select it, and the folder that is created right there, it has the date and everything. And you can say preview, wait for it to load, and you can see the photos right there. And that I think is fantastic. So you can actually go ahead and preview images just to make sure that they're actually there if you need to. So you're going to press and hold to go back, press and hold to go back again, press and hold to go back again. So that step that I did before, guys, was the copy and verify. Let's do just a straight copy and see what happens. So I'm going to select that. Now I'm going to go over straight to copy and see what happens. Start copying. Let's see how long it takes. So copy is successful, and we can remove the card from there. So guys, let me know what you guys think about this. If this is something that you think you would add to your gear of things to carry, because I definitely know that the wedding season is going to be crazy right now. So I know that I'm definitely going to be using this. So let me know what you guys think of this device, if it's something that you would consider getting for yourself. I purchased this off B&H and the SSD off Amazon. I'll have the affiliate link for the SSD, but I'll also have the link for the B&H, and also I'll have the link so you can download the firmware as well if you do decide to purchase this actual device. But the next thing too, guys, is like I mentioned, well, I didn't mention this before, but like what I want to mention is now is you can actually use this as an external hard drive by just connecting this and put it into your computer, which I think is fantastic. So this is not only just a portable storage, this can be used as an external hard drive. And like I mentioned before, guys, is that this can be, you can upgrade the storage to about 32 terabyte hard drive, which I think is amazing, guys. Let me know in the description below what you guys think. If you guys would like me to go further in how to actually operate the system, let me know, and I'll do another video on that. But for now, guys, I just wanted to do an unboxing and a basic overview of the device. And if you guys are interested in purchasing the SSD, like I mentioned before, I'll have an affiliate link in the description below, and also I'll also put a link for the B&H so you guys can actually purchase it for yourself. And whether you choose to do the SSD internal, or you want to buy the version that you don't that is a little bit cheaper, and you install the SSD for yourself. If you guys enjoyed this video at all, smash that like button, guys. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.